साहित्यिक दोतोर माधवी सरदेसाई हांच्या 11व्या पुण्यतिथीच्या उगडासाक जागान आयोजित केल्ले माधवी उगडास भौशीक व्याख्यान प्रियोलच्या रवींद्र केळेकारांच्या राबितो घरा जालें. पीटर रोनाल्ड डिसोजा गोंय विद्यापीठांतले आदले राज्यशास्त्र विभागाचे मुखेली आनी इंडियन इन्स्टिट्यूट ऑफ एडवान्स स्टडीज शिमलाचे आदले संचालक हांणी राजकारण आनी उतरां भास आनी नियंत्रणाची पद्दत हे मुखेल उलोवप केलें. डिसोजा हांणी भारत आनी इस्रायलांतल्या देखींचो आदार घेवन आंदोलनजिवी धर्मनिरपेक्ष आनी आत्मरक्षण ह्या सारक्या उतरांची नवी व्याख्या कशी केल्या ती प्रबळ राजकीय कथनाक कशी अनुकूल जाता हाचेर उजवाड घालो. अशा संज्ञांचे मूळ इतिहासीक नदरेन आदारिल्ले अर्थ परतून मेळोवपाची बेगोबेग गरज आसा हाचेर तांणी भर दिलो.
There is a considered viewpoint among scholars in Goa of Goa's liberation that the Portuguese colonial regime was more worried about the radio broadcasts of the Voice of Freedom than they were about the resistance politics of the Indian National Congress Goa or of Azad Gomantak Dal. The latter, Azad Gomantak Dal and Indian National Congress Goa, they could deal with through the coercive instruments of the state of power. Arrest, imprisonment, torture and banishment to far-flung colonies such as Angola. But for the former, a radio broadcast, it was too elusive. Physical beings can be managed physically, but words escape into the ether. They are both material, they're powerful, and yet they're immaterial, you can't hold them. How does one coddle and imprison a broadcast? How does one coddle and imprison a broadcast from the jungles or the Western Ghats, from Amboli and sometimes from Castle Rock, or mostly from Castle Rock and sometimes from Amboli? How can one coddle words over which one has no control? The Portuguese were worried because they carefully constructed veil of censorship that covered the whole of Goa and kept the population in blissful ignorance about the wider world because of the censorship, was being breached by the broadcasts. Details of freedom movements in Africa, especially Portuguese Africa, of other colonies, were being broadcast by the radio. The radio also broadcast SSC results, I'm told. So that people in Goa developed as a kind of loyal listening community. The words emanating from the Voice of Goa became instruments of resistance against the regime of censorship that had been imposed.